Okay, there we go. All right, it's 5:15, December 1st, 2025. Call the select board meeting to order. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none. Approved bills for payment. In front of us there, we have our warrant. Are there any questions? It's a big one.
I make a motion to approve the warrant for $652,394.26.
All right, we have a motion by Joe. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Tim seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. This point in time there, a chance here for public comment. Is there any public comment that the select board can take up at future meetings? Hearing none. Fire Station Public Works Garage Project. So we need to approve or ask, hello, Harry.
Hello.
Approve the Homeland Security Grant application for the generator. And Karen, do you have that?
I do not. Mike Murdoch asked that be on there, and
Okay.
he did not give me any documentation, and I think I assumed he'd be at this meeting.
It's, I don't know, he's at another meeting, so. Okay, well, we don't have it in front of us. This is basically for the grant. So,
He stopped in the town office today, and I was at a meeting with Project WorkSafe at the Public Works Garage. But Lori told me he stopped in, did not say what he needed,
okay,
so.
well, then, we will pump that one to a future meeting. All right, contractor selection following bid opening and tabulation. Let's see here. In front of us, Matt has sent us a very nice bunch of sheets here. Thank you for putting that all together there, Matt. And Matt, would you like to just lead us off on this, walk us through it?
Sure. So AES took a look at all 6 bids and broke that down into kind of each typical construction division. We identified a couple of spots where we thought the lowest bidder kind of had a larger deviation from the other bidders, and we took the opportunity to speak with them today about those.
Lost you, Matt.
Yeah. Matt, you dropped off. Are you there? He is still showing as unmuted and present. So
Their bidders.
Well, wait, you may have to back up to the beginning there, Matt. We lost you for a while.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So we did a analysis of the cost of all of the bids. We identified a couple of areas that it seemed like the low bidder was different than a lot of the other bids, and so we took that opportunity to discuss that with them today, and they were able to provide a explanation that that's an area that they intend to self-perform a lot of work and not subcontract that work out, and that's why they're able to be so competitive in those areas. That's specifically Division 9 finishes is one of the big areas that they're going to self-perform. And we took a look at their schedule, and their schedule seemed reasonable and in alignment with what the town was looking for as far as start and finish dates. They're able to finish by late October is what their expectation is, and they're not starting until the March 15th as requested. So, we discussed references with them today. I think Don's provided another document as well, kind of a lot of summary of our discussion today, but they were able to basically, appease and explain all of the areas of concern to us. And so we feel comfortable recommending DEW Corp for the award of this project.
Okay, any questions there for Matt from the board?
No, Matt, thank you for the thorough analysis.
Welcome.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right,
I'll make a motion that we award the construction project for the North Station Building complex to DEW Construction. In line with the recommendation from AES Northeast.
and
Let me stop just for a second. Just wanted to make note of the fact that that number that you're awarding for is for the base bid plus the alternate for the metal roof. It includes that. So it's their base bid plus that. So in Matt's analysis, they remained the low bid even when you added in that alternate. So just as a case in point, this is not for the base bid, which was with a shingle roof. This is with a metal roof.
Thank you, Don.
So
That doesn't change my motion.
No, I'm sorry.
So the 3250 includes the metal.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
and it does, and there was a deduct alternate that we did not see. That would have just, we didn't take it. So this is just a single add alternate.
okay,
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
What about the carport addendum?
that,
That was the deduct alternate. Tracy, we didn't take that, so that stays.
okay. So we have a motion. Do I have a second to the motion?
I will second.
Tim seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of awarding the contract to DEW, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Matt, there for putting in your time on this analysis, and thank you, Mark, for attending. So, let's see here. Okay, so we have financing decisions. You wanna walk us through this, Lisa, a little bit?
Sure. So I created a spreadsheet based on Don's budget that he and I have worked on since he started. Added the $5 bids. So that you could see what was the total project was going to cost. So pre-construction costs, we have spent, we have budgeted 227,944. We've spent to date 149,435, includes the invoices that are on today's warrant. Which leaves about 78,000 left in pre-construction costs, and Don did confirm that there are still additional costs to be spent. The biggest one being the building permit. And then I added the bids with the metal roof, not deducting for the cardboard. So that's the bid line in bold. And then the other items under it are still, we are going to be required to pay outside of the bid. And Don, correct me if I'm.
You say that again, please, Karen.
Yep. So
Sorry.
we have the pre-construction costs left of 78,508.
Correct.
Then we have the bid, and then we still have these additional costs, the insurance, the testing, the landscaping, the propane install, the contingency amount, and the reimbursables to architect and civil engineer that we're still gonna have to pay outside of that bid, correct? So we have a total cost of construction of, with DEW, 3.586204. And then in addition to that, we'll have project management fees that we too will have to pay that are not included in the bid of 93,790. We have the FF&E for the fire station 14451, and for the public works garage 7,000. So for a total of FF&E, that does include $60,000 for the generator, which because we don't have the grant awarded yet. So you get the total project costs down on the bottom. And then our balance of the North Station Building Replacement Fund of 805,028 as of today, after the invoices on the warrant are paid, that'll be the balance. So that left the amount to bond.
Okay, so we have, so all in, we're at 3.1, or $3,100,925.37.
But that does not include, we have an interest payment for the bond due May of 2026 that we do not have in our budget for this year.
Okay,
So depending on what we bond for and the number of years, we'll have that interest payment. So that should be added on. We feel it should be added on to the total amount to bond.
Also, there's
Also,
one more also,
the contingency,
correct.
is that enough? 300,000. That's
Is it-
less than 10% of the project costs.
that's about 10, yeah, 9.
Yes,
Well, the project cost of 3,905,000, not the 31.
Five.
So total project cost is 3,905,954.
Yeah, it's 3.9 for total project and the amount of the bond is 3.1, so.
Right,
So it would add a little bit more.
So it's basically the contingency we're looking at here is 0.75% closer to 0.75, 0.8% of the total
Mm.
project cost.
So when you start adding it up with the 78,000, and if you increase the contingency to add to the 10,000, 10%, that's 90,000. So we come up with 3,178,975.
But Don, you're comfortable with a $300,000 contingency built in with a $3.9 million build?
oh, yes. I am. I'm-
Okay.
I feel like in light of our debrief, with DEW today. And the fact that we have a project that is not inordinately complicated. So basically, we're building two pretty big buildings that are generally fairly empty. We don't have a lot of things we're going to discover along the way. There's not a lot of things that we see that we anticipate where there may be problems. And typically an owner on a project like this would enter with a contingency of 5 to 7% of the construction value. And so we're slightly above that. But you've actually included some other things in here that we're that could be covered under the contingency. So answer your question, yes, I'm comfortable.
Thank you.
And Dawn, do you do any kind of add to for possible change orders that the client makes?
Well, no. That is, to me, that's the money that we would spend from the contingency. So the contingency covers unanticipated expenses that occur during the project. If we get deep into the project and we feel like we are not going to spend all that contingency, it certainly becomes possible for the owner to say, I'd like to add some things, and they would come out of that contingency money. But initially, we don't typically assume that the owner is going to add anything. We're going to protect that contingency as long as we can. And then if the owner says, if you guys say we want to add some things, then we have some room to do that, but it would be towards the end of the project.
And is it, if there's an increase in materials costs, that's already included in the contract with bids?
Yes, once this number that we have agreed upon with DEW has proposed is a fixed price contract and they understand that the job is going to start not now, but in 4 months. There are some caveats in the general construction contract document that have to do if there is an extraordinary event, like we go to war.
Oh, force majeure.
Force majeure, so if it's force majeure, that may alter the cost of the contract, but basically all the contractor and all their subcontractors are have committed to do the project for the price that they have said that they would do, they were going to award for. So I believe that that's covered. Might they argue about that at some point? They probably will. And we'll have that discussion when it comes up.
Did you get an answer on the paving?
Maybe it's cool.
Paving's included.
It is.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that question specifically, but I did very clearly ask, do your site work contractors, of which we had two who had low bids, did they include the paving? But it was sort of a self-answering question. The answer is, it's on the drawings. If it's on the drawings, they own it. But even if they forgot it, they still own it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so I guess we have to decide. First of all, their terms. Now, we know we are not gonna do a 10-year.
So also is the amortization schedule for 3,000,000, 3.25, 3.5, 20 and 30 year, given the rates that they gave us at the webinar at the end of October. And we've already agreed, Harry made a motion back in October, I believe, for the level principal. So all of these numbers are at level.
Level principle. Okay. Well. We discuss this as far as the length of term. Jump in there. I've given this a lot of thought. And my thought on this is that we do a 30-year bond. The reasoning behind that is that it lessens some of the pain. And being there that we have an average age of 60 years old here. I just think it'd be better if we went with a 30-year term to lessen the burden. Anybody else want to chime in?
He's comfortable with 30. I was comfortable with 20 too. He's comfortable with 30.
Thank you, Claire. Tim, your feelings?
How much more would we be paying in interest between a 20 and a 30?
2.5 or 1.1 million,
1.1 million?
or just about one, I guess,
Right around,
900,000,
Yeah.
I guess, 900,000.
that's over 10 years. 10-year difference. Joe? Your feeling?
For a 20, but I mean, I'm good with a 32. I won't be around either way, so.
Harry?
Just something.
I am, from a personal perspective, someone who struggles with paying interest on anything.
I hear you.
And someone who is charged with wisely spending the tax dollars of our taxpayers. I wonder if spending $900,000 of their money to ease the initial shock of the cost of this project that we've been contemplating now in this town for 10 years is money well spent. At the same time, saw an article today that said we should be expecting another double-digit increase from the state of Vermont because of increases in per pupil spending for education. Feels like I am in between a rock and a hard place here, trying to get an important project done that I think is very meaningful for our town, while at the same time spending our future dollars to subsidize the state of Vermont. Make, make our project less painful because of state management issues with our education dollars. It's not a position I like being in. If I had my druthers, it would be a 10-year note. Because we would be saving well over $1 million, and I know how hard Lisa and Corinne have worked over the past few years to bring $1 million of money into this town for important projects. It's a lot of work. But we have a project that needs doing and money that needs spending, and if the majority of this board is comfortable with a 30-year note, I can certainly understand the reason why. Personally, I would lean more towards 20-year. But
Is there any chance there to, down the road, 10 years down the road there, to potentially change it?
They usually become callable within 8 to 10 years. It's not something we can initiate, but they can.
They can. With a little poking and prodding, maybe, yeah.
Time value of money,
What's that, Claire?
the time value of money too, you know, in the future, it's worth less than.
Well, I'll entertain a motion. The term.
Well, I'll make the motion that we go for the 30-year.
Claire makes a motion there for a 30-year term. Right.
Consideration given to what Harry said.
Oh,
about
definitely, it's,
Property taxes.
I think there's a lot of consideration given to all of it.
I know the board has struggled with this. You know, these are things that we've all thought about very carefully. May I ask Claire? Your motion to borrow 3 million, 3.25 million, or 3.5 million?
If it were up to me, I would do 3.5. And that gives us a buffer, and it can be used if we don't use it all. It can be used to pay down, not pay down, let's put it that way, to pay,
Future payments.
correct.
Okay, well, let's deal with the term here. And then we'll tackle the amount. So Claire has a motion on the floor here. Do I have a second?
I was firm on 20 until I read the article today. I mean, if they're gonna keep double-digit taxing us year after year, it makes it really hard. Especially knowing the demographics of our community. Makes it really hard to pass that burden.
So was that a second?
Claire just looked at me.
You don't have to second it, I mean.
I'm still
Okay,
contemplating.
too.
I'm not sure if it's inappropriate there, but I would second it.
We don't follow Robert's Rules of Order, so I think you are
Yep.
perfectly capable of
Within your
seconding
realm.
Claire's motion.
Okay, I'll second it. So, we have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries, so. 30-year term. Now, let's tackle the amount. I hate spending money like this, but it's gotta be done. I'm in favor then of, and I've thought about this, whether it be I would love to do 3, that doesn't cover it. 3.25, I believe, is cutting it a little short, even though I can foresee there's some of these numbers getting smaller. However, some of them may grow. So, I mean, I would be in favor of the 3.5 mil.
You don't have to go with 3.5. There's an endless number
I know,
of.
it's all in between, but
You could do 3.4, or
Yeah.
3.3, or.
I would think that 3.5 is very safe. And that's my feelings on it. Feel free to jump in, anybody.
Having not want, or having not need, then need not have, right?
Mhm.
Make a motion that we bond for $3.5 million.
Harry makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Oh, Tim.
All right, Tim will second. We'll pass it around. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. All right. So decide if principal payment should be delayed and for how long, up to 5 years. Can you fill us in on that, Lisa?
Yeah, we have the option to delay principal payments up to 5 years, which would be just an interest-only payment in May and November.
Make a motion that our payments commence at the earliest possible time.
Second.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll give that to Joe. I'll say Joe seconded it. So further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Decide if bond anticipation note is needed. I don't believe there we need that.
This is your last chance.
Yep.
I think based on the schedule with DEW,
Okay, so we have to have that in December 5th by December 15th,
start working on it.
right? And then they'll set the rate in February, you said, and then that's when we find out what's what. Okay, thank you, Lisa. All right. My God, we got through that without any bloodshed. All right. Phillips Point stabilization project and approve the Fitzgerald environmental proposal. Tom Bristleton. What have you got to say?
I think you have the show environmental proposal in your packet.
I believe it is in the packet.
The clean water service provider and the basin water quality council did approve of funds at the last week's meeting. I've seen email, I don't know if you came to conclusion, Lisa or Corinne, saw emails flying back and forth, but there should have been a contract from Dan at the clean water service provider for those funds. We already have a master agreement. That's all done, and this would be a work order.
Did we get that, Corinne?
It looks like we did. I told him no, and then I saw that Lisa had already added it, so.
It's in the packet.
Yep.
So I don't know like, if it were me, I'd want to approve that first and then the Fitzgerald environmental funds.
Is it in your packet?
It's not
But
here.
I'm not exactly sure how.
Because I think Dan sent some stuff after the agenda was moved. So let me go get that.
We see our PCs, us to pay for.
Correct. Yeah. So they're gonna, the CCRP, the Clean Water Service Provider is providing funds to the town. To pay Fitzgerald Environmental Associates. The town can add 10% on that. So when you send an invoice, however it's billed, you can add 10% on that for the town.
Okay. I spoke with, just to let you know there, I did speak in person there to Mr. Percy. And I passed along what was laid out there as far as the construction and all that, what it was gonna look like, so he was gonna go over that. And, but I did get a hold of him. I don't know if Tracy, if you ever made contact with, no, okay.
To give you a little timing, so the engineering firm would like to go out Thursday. And they'll probably do it whether they have a signed contract. And then they'll have even a more detailed, drawing and rendering probably.
Thank you, Don.
Probably in 2 to 3 months. So that, Mr. Percy can look at that. It'll be in more detail, so you'll get a better idea of what.
Okay, so this is, the Puyallup Point Shoreline Stabilization Preliminary Design. This is pursuant to a master agreement. Chittenden County Regional Planning Commission, public body formed by its member municipalities, has enabled under 24 VSA 4341, what its principal place of Canal Street. Subject matter and scope of work, detailed services to be provided by the sub-grantee are as described in the attached grant proposal, including scope of work from Fitzgerald Environmental Associates to the CCRPC in its role as Basin 5 Clean Water Service Provider. So maximum amount in consideration of the services to be performed by the sub-grantee. The CCRPC agrees to pay sub-grantee in accordance with the payment provisions specified in the master agreement, a sum not to exceed $21,291. Agreement term, the period of sub-grantee's performance shall begin on November 21st, 2025 and end June 30th, 2026, except as modified by the task order agreement. So, what's your pleasure? And this is just really a passing of money, correct?
Make a motion that we approve the contract.
Second,
Yeah, we have a motion and a second by Claire. Motion by Harry. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
You can sign
You want me to
that.
go ahead and sign this one?
Yes.
Okay.
that's a 5%, comes to the 21, 7.
Yes, that was the Fitzgerald. So that's what took me out at the top. Point.
Okay. I think that covers that one, correct?
Yep,
All right.
Just a question.
Yep.
You signed the
task order.
task. force.
Task
It wasn't returned to Dan.
So then, I don't know, do you still need to sign the Fitzgerald Environmental?
Probably.
So that's a proposal for work. That would be kind of like getting a quote. I didn't see anywhere in here to actually sign it. Am I wrong?
Oh, Fitzgerald
The-
provided to the
So
CC.
Fitzgerald had sent a proposal and I added that to the agenda and then the task order came in later. I didn't realize it was in here or I would have printed it up. Well, I guess I mean, I saw the emails, but
So the task order is the
Oh.
clean water service provider giving the town money.
yes.
Now, however you take a Fitzgerald environmental proposal and approve that, because you're gonna have to issue a.
I don't think the town gets the money. I think CCRPC pays Fitzgerald Environmental directly.
No, they pay us.
They pay us?
Yeah, we pay Fitzgerald and they pay us.
Okay,
So I'd be looking for a motion there to
Again, what we're doing here is approving that Fitzgerald Environmental do the work.
correct.
So we have a proposal from them. I still don't see a signature page. Although now that you say this, I kind of remember something last time falling through the cracks and we're kind of scrambling. Do they send us a signature page after the approval then?
I don't know how the town,
Yeah.
so they could send a signature page, or I don't know how the town issues like purchase orders to
We don't.
firms.
But
Okay.
typically things are supplied from vendors like this if they need it.
So they could supply
Yeah.
a letter.
Yeah.
For the town to sign that says if you sign this.
If
then-
they require it, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, if a motion works for them,
Motion there to approve the chair to sign it.
Make a motion that the Fitzgerald Environmental proposal is approved to the extent that they require a ratifying signature that Carl Rocca, Select Board Chair, is empowered to sign the document.
I have a motion by Harry. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Joe seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, so whenever we get that, Tom, there, I'll go ahead and sign it, as long as those numbers match up. So, okay. There we go. Now we're getting to some good stuff. Grand Isle Sheriff. All right, Ray, fill us in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the opportunity to come up to talk to you tonight. And also supporting us. This year has been interesting. I'm back at full staff. Good news is, just purchased a new deputy. His name is Knox, Knox. He is a German Shepherd. He's 80 pounds and he was born in Germany.
Oh,
how you purchased a Jeopardy.
I know.
Waiting. He's in North Carolina currently being trained and certified on narcotics and track and trail. Narcotics is pretty self-explanatory. He gets us into the vehicle and gets handcuffs on the bad people. Track and trail is many versions that we have used. I ran canine for almost 10 years, and my proudest moments were 2 life saves. On suicidal people that we found before they were able to complete the task. Also a missing child, a good handler, and a canine is equivalent to a 20-person search team. Also, the canine's on or close. We get a report of a burglary, neighbor sees somebody running out of somebody's house. We can actually do a track off that location and catch up to them. Most of the time, the criminals aren't as energetic as they used to be.
Everybody's being older.
They use their cell phones, get picked up just down the road, but then we just tie it in, do a canvas and, oh yeah. My doorbell cam picked up somebody getting into a vehicle and we've done a lot that way, which is good. So he'll be online and back by the end of February or close to it. So we're expanding services, things are going very well for the most part. Unfortunately, cost of living, I can add that to 13% if it makes you feel better, Joe.
No,
Okay, then we'll stick with the 3%. You did a lot of work last year, comparing us to other agencies, municipalities. And we're about what, 75th percentile. Not bad for some residential or rural law enforcement. Only thing I would ask is you can increase hours. Second page on your thing shows it. It does a breakdown.
How have you been doing? I've noticed quite a bit of activity here, as far as,
Yep.
so how's that been going?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slowing it down, recent patches in the village area. A lot of it is education. They'll start at the marginal where they start to enforce, but well, you got somebody pulled over, and there's at least 20 other vehicles going by. Jesus, I'm glad I wore that meat. So they pay attention and they slow down to the trend. You know, you're doing your job when you pull somebody over from Chittenden County and they start asking, can we rent out here? Cause it's safe.
Well, no, I've seen quite a few lights. I like it. Um, I don't feel you're 3%, that's not out of line, that's,
No, it's the insurance and everything else that goes into it.
Yeah.
We are starting a new program, first time in a lot of years. Out of county deputies, if they live within 30 miles of the county line, they're allowed to take their cruiser home. Depends how you look at it, yeah, a little bit more on gas, but what it's gonna do is, say on night shift currently, one of my cruisers will be entering Alberg at shift change and the other is entering the sandbar. Also gives me more access because I've only got really one that lives in the county currently. So search and rescue, marine calls, etc. I can get them here quicker.
Mhm.
I have a curiosity question.
Yeah.
In South Hero, they have that flashing speed limit.
Yep.
It's from, can you remember before that was installed to after it was installed?
Yeah.
And was it effective?
It's like anything else you put up beside the road, people ignore it after a while.
Hmm.
Initially it catches their attention or somebody new coming through the area. You travel through there on a regular basis. What was your last two speed limit readings as you got to the?
I don't recall, Sheriff.
35. and
44 tonight.
We've got nothing to do with those. That's actually the town got a grant to do it. They do all the maintenance on it.
Have they been sharing the data with you? Cause I didn't realize they collected as much data as they do.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
I can request it.
Uh-huh.
Or if they see a problem, we see an increase in crashes, etc., then we can target it.
No, I had spoken to you previously about this right down at the office. And you said there that, of course, it'd be helpful. I mean, because we're looking at doing that here in the village. Especially, I mean, it's really the summer, which is the big one.
Yeah.
And you had made mention to me there that that could be helpful as far as
Oh, yeah.
for a time, on a time basis to see what are the times there that are getting the most activity as far as being well above.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
And I've gotta say, earlier, a few months ago, we had a drowning out here. How impressed I was with all the agencies, fire, I was actually at Costco picking up 700 pounds of Halloween candy. So when the call came in, I started working, well, getting my way back to the county. Chief Murdoch had water resources coming from the county, St. Albans area. I had a helicopter that was getting ready to lift off, state police, fish and wildlife were en route. And from the time it was reported to the time of recovery was about an hour. And that is pretty darn good considering you've been in the water overnight.
Yeah.
So, and the canoe and all the belongings that were tied to it have been recovered also.
Okay.
So.
Great.
Yeah, I'm always very impressed with the mutual aid there. that we
It's
have.
amazing. No other county in the state has it.
Mhm.
Worcester Tech was even talking about trying to move up here. Because we're so friendly and easy to get along with.
Well,
Okay. Well, any other questions there for Sheriff Allen? I'll chat with you at some point in time in the near future. And this has to do with great ice, 'tis the time.
Okay.
And to see what we can work out.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you very much there, Ray.
Having ice this year?
Well, I don't know, it's gonna get kind of cold the next couple days. Yeah,
The election's starting to glaze over.
starting to glaze over.
You
Okay.
know, it's gonna be as good season as people are on Till and Beck. I haven't seen them yet.
Right. Oh,
It's coming.
Yeah,
okay.
won't be long.
Well, thank you very much, Ray.
Thank you, folks. If you have any questions, any concerns or negativity that you're hearing about us, cause I'd like to hear that too, unfortunately.
No,
I got you on speed dial, Ray. Oh,
Cost of a dog, a trained dog. What is that
probably don't want to know.
about? Well, it does the job of how many people, so it's like.
So it depends how you do it. Here in Vermont, Police Academy, I think they're down there 14 weeks with the handler and the dog training it. That gets real expensive, especially with the person in the payroll. What I like about North Carolina, and that's where I came from in my training, is they train all their dogs identical. You can put 6 German Shepherds out here, let them search for narcotics. I'll pick out which ones were trained there, just by how they're certified. What do you think any price of a dog would be?
I know the price of a dog, like a trained dog, I don't know,
Purebred,
30,000.
$3,000 for the dog itself.
yeah,
3 to 5, 14.
14,000,
And
trained.
that's the dog certified, and the handler goes down, and that includes his 3-week certification. Not his pay, it comes from me. And then every year he goes down for recertification free. And they supply housing.
Nice.
What's the dog name?
Knox, Knox.
Hard knocks.
Or not
Full of hard knocks.
God, all we gotta do is teach them how to drive a vehicle. You know, then they can take over.
And you get savings in health insurance and retirement costs.
Yeah.
He is considered a single purpose where it's narcotics and crack and trail. Dual purpose is narcotics, crack and trail, and protection or apprehension. He's not gonna be certified as a bite dog. He's more public friendly.
Be assigned to one of your current employees, or
Yeah.
you're gonna have to hire somebody?
No, he's one of the current ones. And he's actually got several years of working with a dog that he did tracking with, and he was also embedded with VSP as mental health 10 years. So he knows how things work. It's an amazing tool and it's fun.
They need a job.
And they work for dog biscuits.
Alright.
Yeah. Thank you, folks,
All
and
right,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
thank you very much, Ray. Okay. Treasurer, Lisa.
So overall budget review, I didn't include the budget in your packet because there really weren't any changes. Big things were being decided tonight with the bond for the whole project. The budget did include 5,000 for sheriffs, so if we stick with the 22 hours, the 84,129.76. Under on that, and we got Northwest Regional Planning today. And they are at 1,191. We had budgeted 1,200, so. So I'll add all these numbers and have it for you next time.
Okay. You brought up a good point, though. I mean, as far as with the hours. What's the board feel like for the hours as far as for the sheriff's department?
Oh,
Do you think we're high, low? Are you right on?
I know if we go to 19, it'll keep us about the same as what we are right now. And we're still only about 11% for the county.
Right,
So, I mean, that's where we've sat for the last couple of years.
so, and we're at what, 22 hours, right?
Yep.
So, Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with the 22. Well, if anybody else has anything different,
And I can go do an audit. I mean, I can go, he's invited me up, look at the books at any time, he can show me that we're getting 22 hours a week, that's what he's told me.
yeah,
So, I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't think Ray's ever lied to me about anything,
no,
he's a pretty straight shooter, so. And I have seen a lot more patrols, so.
yep,
Which has to do with the staffing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
so, okay,
I'd be comfortable staying at our current level of service with the sheriff's department. I don't think we have a pronounced need for increased service. I would worry that reducing service would have a potential negative impact. Well,
yep,
And honestly, right now, 3%, I don't even know if it's keeping up with inflation, so it's not a huge ask.
okay, so you can go ahead and enter that number. And that's kind of where I was going with that.
You need a motion for that or not?
No, he submitted it there, so when we finalize our budget and all the numbers, we'll have that all in there.
I'd like to bring up another. We're done?
Yep,
And that is on salaries. And I have 3 line items. One would be for the executive assistant, one would be for the treasurer, and one would be for Tracy. And a couple ways to go about this. I think they deserve a bump. And so in those areas, and so either bump up the treasurer and executive assistant to 5% from 3, or give them a bonus. And Tracy is to bump his total salary to 5, instead of 3% to 5%, as my opinion.
all right, and Claire, I know that you've run some numbers on that. What are we looking at the delta there between 3 and 5?
Oh, it's less than 1,000. For Tracy's, it's more. Because
Right.
it's his full salary.
Yeah. Okay. So,
is that a motion, Claire?
Oh, okay, I'll make that motion.
well, we have to decide there. I mean, whether or not it's a, you know, because there's a number of ways to do this and, I mean, we could look at a bonus level so that we keep and I'm not saying that there, because Public Works is a little different animal there than treasurer and town clerk and executive assistant.
I don't want to interrupt you, Carl,
No.
but I'll just kind of share my thoughts on bonus versus raise.
Yeah,
I think if you have a bonus structure with any employer-employee relationship, you've got to have a lot of meat on the bone. You've got to say what the minimum expectations are, key performance indicators. You have to let an employee know what they've got to do to achieve a bonus in order for it to be kind of a meaningful thing to work for. Otherwise, it is pretty squishy. I personally am someone who is more in favor of a raise. It provides future looking predictability. And it encourages continuation of the level of effort that has been extended during the previous year to get a raise that exceeds the COLA adjustment. That's the way I would feel about it.
well, bonus is doing essentially the same thing. You're rewarding for past performance.
Yeah, I think the main difference being is that a bonus, if it becomes something regular without a defined structure about how to earn a bonus,
Mhm.
It can be confusing. Because, bonuses can be subject to a lot of different
I understand, Harry, not to cut you off, what Harry's trying to say. Like, for me, I get 3 month, 6 month, 9 month and yearly evaluations. And that works off what I gotta do to earn my bonuses. Me personally, I would much rather have a raise. Because that lasts year after year after year, and it's an increase for every year after that. Whereas a bonus is a one-time good deal, and you're not piggybacking or making any extra off it the next year, because your salary is still the same.
I
So
would
it's a-
agree with you, Joe, and Harry, and especially since we weren't talking about bonuses a year ago, you know, for the past year, that it seems like kind of just an add-on that we've done. So I would be in favor of salary bump.
So just to be clear, this is line item wise, it's for the treasurer
Mm-hmm.
and for the executive assistant.
And for the public works.
Well, yes, yeah.
All right, so you wanna clean that up there and make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we increase Tracy's salary from 3% to 5%. Also increase the treasurer's salary from 3% to 5%, and increase the executive assistant's salary from 3% to 5%.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
For clarification, is that for this cycle, or is this for year after year after year?
This is for this cycle.
I'll second that.
One final point of discussion. We've been down this road before, I believe. Is that effective immediately or beginning after March elections?
That's up to you, because I thought it was in the new budget cycle, because we're talking about the budget
Yeah.
cycle.
So starting July 1st.
Starting July 1st.
Correct.
Okay, so these raises are effective July 1, 2026.
Yeah, so
But need to go in the budget.
they need
Yeah,
to go into the budget.
Okay,
Okay, so we have a clarification. This is effective there, the new fiscal year. So starting July 1st of 2026.
Correct.
Okay, do I have a second on Claire's
I
motion?
seconded it.
Joe seconded it. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. All right, Lisa, you also have fraud risk assessment program.
Yes, I attended the fall workshop for the Vermont Government Finance Officers Association a couple weeks ago, and 2 out of the 3 sections were about fraud and risk. So it kind of prompted me to think about how we could roll out some of the things I learned at the workshop here in town. So this is just the proposal, what it's about. I'm not looking to, we have plenty of policies, so I'm not looking to add any more policies. Not looking to add any committees or groups or subcommittees. I'm not looking to create more monthly meetings. I'm not looking to
so far you've got me on this one.
update everybody's inbox.
I'm all in.
So a couple of the big things are education and awareness. So I'm gonna start out with like a survey of some things that I learned at the workshop and kind of get, in this, I'd like to include every department, commission, board, including fire department and ladies auxiliary. It's not the ladies auxiliary, but the fire department auxiliary.
Yep.
And just kind of put some education stuff out there, maybe once every 2 months, maybe once a month, things like that. It's more about incorporating all of the policies that we currently have into our procedures and making sure everybody's following the same procedures. So it's
That's
not,
great.
it's not a big ask.
You have my vote.
I know the North Carolina Library has been doing some community-based awareness sessions for online risk.
Mhm.
Beware of scams that are going on and that kind of stuff. So it's good to see that we're spearheading a similar measure here with our government entities. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. On to, okay, discuss investment of contingency funds and CDs.
Take this?
Yes, I know we've chatted about it.
I've kind of thought about it. We have this contingency reserve money sitting there. It's about $230,000 and it has to be available for an emergency. But I think that we could invest $100,000, say this week, and then 2 weeks from now, invest another $100,000 strictly for 30 days, not more than 30 days. So if there was an emergency, we would have it very quickly. It would be pretty liquid.
And the basis of that is because even if there were an emergency, we're not shelling it out right away.
Right.
The invoices or whatever come in later.
Yep.
So this would be another way to draw some interest.
Yep.
Instead of it just sitting there.
I think that's fine, and I like the latter approach that we've used with the other kind of pools of resources. I wouldn't even be terribly opposed to having it be at a more favorable interest rate and having it be more than 30 days is personally, because even if money's in a CD, if you got to get to it before the maturation date, all you've got to do is pay the penalty.
Penalty, right?
Right? So
It would be still available, yeah.
it would be still available. So even if we have these in longer investment periods, I think looking back over, I don't know, the last 8 or 9 years that I've been on this board, we haven't had any emergencies that have required
Thank you.
the immediate access to capital. And if we're looking at this a bit at a potential to have a fairly significant long-term return on that money and help grow that fund, so we don't have to go to taxpayers to supplement it as our overall budget line items increase and maybe eventually return some of that money to the taxpayers, lower the tax rate. I think it's a win-win-win. I think it's an excellent plan.
So you want to have a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we reasonably invest the contingency reserve fund with the first $100,000 to be invested in a CD. I don't know what the current rates are.
So 1 month is 3.23, 2 month is 3.26, and then it drops from there. 3 months is 3.18.
So the 1 month and the,
1 month is 3.23, 2 month is 3.26.
I
so
think
not that big a difference.
not that big a difference.
Yeah.
I'll say at first 100,000 on a 1 month CD.
Okay.
And then wait till.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion by Harry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Claire seconds.
Let me make a friendly amendment to that motion. I guess it's
Okay.
not friendly. I can be kind to myself, but this is just tracking my previous. Let's just say that we invest the entirety of the contingency reserve fund in $100,000 or less increments every 2 weeks on a 1 month CD.
I'll second that too.
All right, Claire will second that. You up to speed on this, sir, Corinne?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right,
We do have the North Station CD number 2 maturing on the 8th.
what's the amount on that one, Lisa?
Number 2 is $237,539.
And we have enough here to cover us through.
I don't think we're gonna be spending really much in the next
No,
4 months,
right,
right?
right. I don't foresee that happening, so. All right, so your rates again are,
1 month, 3.23, 2 months, 3.26. I said that right, 1 month, 3.23, and 2 months, 3.26.
I don't, I'll
We
make,
begin getting invoices for the MFE, we haven't done the build out yet. We took a large portion of the architectural plans out and decided to have those happen when we had approved for a
Yeah.
contractor. And I think those have to happen in the next couple of months, and I believe they're 60-80 grand. I don't,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
over
Okay.
200,000, but
Okay.
not invested in CDs at this point
So
from that North Station.
I'll make a motion that we reinvest that on a 2-month.
2 month.
Yeah.
3.26.
I'll second that.
Joe seconds it. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
We have two others maturing this month. North Station number one. The amount of 225, with some change. Matures on 12/23 and the reappraisal matures on 12/15. So I don't know if you want to deal with them now or deal with them at the next.
I can make a motion that we invest the reappraisal on a 2-month.
Got a motion?
If that's a motion.
Yeah, I'll make
Alright.
that motion.
Joe seconds. Further discussion on that, on the reappraisal funds being reinvested? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
What's the board's pleasure on North Station 1? Do we want to stagger it or have it?
Well, you still have, there's still 200,000 there that is not, right?
In
That
that
is not
case,
vested.
I'll make a motion that North Station 1
Correct.
is reinvested on a 2-month CD.
Okay,
The number one is only 225,000.
Yeah.
yep. Okay, so Harry makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I didn't hear the motion.
Tim, that's
All right.
invest number 2,
Number 1.
or excuse me, number 1. Invest that for 2 months there when it comes due.
Okay.
Okay, so Tim has the second. Harry made the motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Lisa. All right, annual insurance renewal updates and the annual process endorsements, passive water storage tank. And then we have the library book barn and we have the public works equipment. Lynn, you wanna?
Yep. So, this year, well, walking through our annual renewal process, I, worked with, I sent the schedules for vehicles and equipment, to each of the departments ahead of time, which I don't know why has not been past practice. And I think instituting our CIP has made me think, well, it should be, as we've reviewed our inventories and updated general schedules. And Tracy did an excellent job, and he found 2 large pieces of equipment that just weren't on our schedule. And so with that in mind, I did a much more thorough review of our property schedules. And we have 2 new pieces, well, we have 2 new assets in town that nobody thought to ask to add to our property schedules. So I would like us to think about a process that we would institute annually that would kind of be, that would become something we all just assume happens and all the departments are aware of. It isn't the case right now. I had trouble getting responses from the fire department. It took some nudging, and then it was a very curt and brief response that requires some follow-up.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But I've been thinking about this, and I'm coming to you just with the idea right now to get the ball rolling, because the next step that I would like to do is bring this to CIP, because what I don't want to have happen is that you as a group and then the CIP as a group are peppering all these different departments and boards with requests, and some of them are overlapping. So I'd like to come to them and say, the select board has asked me to work with you on how to make sure this process, we start in the spring, but that for insurance purposes, we also need some of the information in the fall. How can we work together to make sure we're just getting all the information consistently from these groups that are all pretty much volunteers?
Well, after this go around, I think we're up to date.
Yeah, I feel pretty.
So
no.
So I mean, it should, maybe we want to just send something out there. I mean, that people need to think about that. These other different boards here, whether it be the library, whether it be the water department there, that any of these major pieces of equipment or installations here that we have, that those need to be reported right away.
Just a general friendly reminder.
Mhm.
But again, I mean, again, this is a once a year process and I know how hard I struggle to remember once a year things and I'm not a volunteer, so I want to help. I want to help. So that's a great first step, but I would like to bake something more into our process.
So you want policy?
No, I know.
Okay. Good, thank you.
I'm willing to just do, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Say, hey, your executive assistant, put a reminder in your calendar. And
Sure, go right
to
ahead.
go to the CIP and say, hey, when we do our annual inventory, can I also tag on insurance requirements? And there may not be any, I'm gonna probably stumble through this the first year, but it'll be you that people come to and they're like, this, she's harassing me for our vehicle schedule. Why does she need our vehicle schedule?
Well, I would say you go right ahead and do it there. I mean, it's very important there to stay top of this.
And from a practical perspective too, I mean, shouldn't all of the assets, vehicles, equipment be listed as part of every department, as part of every department's basic data that is fed to the CIP?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why I'm thinking the two need to be merged and it could just,
And so these divisions had fed incomplete data to the CIP, and essentially they said, oh, wow, Corinne, thank you for shining the light on this. We forgot about it.
it just hasn't been updated. And
Okay,
it could just be, you know, again, kind of like thinking about cycles and bridging the two. Like if they're
Okay.
updating inventories in the spring and I'm doing the insurance renewal in the fall, you know, maybe there isn't a way to reduce redundancy. Maybe I just need to be the person that looks at the CIP information and then contacts each board and have you done anything since the spring? You know, but I didn't want to just go to the CIP and start this discussion without
All right, and don't,
general.
I mean,
awareness.
correct me if I'm wrong there, one of those pieces of equipment there was our backhoe.
Yes,
That's a pretty substantial asset that wasn't listed,
about 3 years now.
correct? And that doesn't reflect on Tracy either there.
no, I know, we've had that equipment since before Tracy retired.
So,
That's definitely in the CIP, so I'm. Yeah.
I would say whatever you have to do there to make that work, but I think a nice friendly reminder to all the boards there would be excellent approach.
And if the CIP, if you want to check the CIP about kind of dovetailing these efforts, then I have no objection to that.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be doing a lot of this data gathering.
Yeah, I mean, because the other thing you can do is just say, no, you're our executive assistant, just get it done, and I can just use that information and then try and find other ways to.
I mean, I think a conversation with them can't hurt if they say, well, you know, I don't really see a path forward where this is making anyone's lives easier. We'll stay in our lane and maybe it makes more sense for you to just have this be part of your fall thing. We don't know how we're gonna be able to bridge that gap between our scheduling requirements, then, you know, I guess you've answered the question in an organic kind of way.
Yep.
I don't have an opinion on who gathers it, but it does need to be gathered.
Mhm.
Thank you for catching those things.
Okay,
I won't make policy, but I do hope to try and make some kind of processes, just
Okay,
so, because I do think consistency helps. Just
yes.
if we do this at this time every year, people just get used to it and they don't second guess the request.
okay.
All right, then, moving on, regional plan, public hearing. Phyllis,
Oh, so this is, Catherine Demetric came and asked if we wanted to opt in to the new tier 1, tier 2, you know, the regional changes with, allowing for an area that would be exempt from Act 250. And we opted in, so those changes are going to be updated in our regional plan, and this is notification specific to North Hero. That's why it's its own bold item and not just under correspondence. That there's going to be a public hearing about our changes being incorporated into this regional plan. So if we want to read through it, if we want to go.
Well, they've given us the map, the area that they've included. As far as with the village district there and
Yeah, I read through it. I didn't see anything,
so.
but
Is the planning commission going to be notified also?
that's a really good question, and I mean, I know that they got the notice. I didn't connect to see if they're going.
I'm sure that Andy,
Is right on it?
Andy has circulated this notice far and wide.
He's on the chair
Yeah.
for the Northwest Regional Planning, so.
Yeah, so I'm sure the PC and the DRB are aware of the hearing and I would be very surprised if Andy wasn't there.
Okay, moving on. We have Shields DRB decision appeal. I'm sure you've all read that there. It was the entry order and then the final judgment. We also had correspondence here, the Nature Conservancy transfer notice. Carrier Pascal decision. Brett's decision has been signed as well. DRB Quentin Jackson decision signed. Karst decision signed. Yandow decision signed. Fusco decision signed and Campbell decision signed.
Make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Harry makes the motion to adjourn at 6:31. Do I have a second?
Second.
Claire seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:31 PM.
14 minutes earlier.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you.
Do I leave here?
Yes,
And,
please.
and, end meeting.